Okay, so last but not least, the documentary we went to. So it was super cool. Mercedes Petronas AMG, whatever.
AMG Petronas F1 team.
Whatever.
Laura Winter from Formula One F1 TV. She's one of their main presenters. She nailed the team name in a way that Lewis always struggles with, and so it always entertains me, like, who in Formula One can say the Mercedes full team name.
Well, Toto even struggles.
Toto even clubs with it too, but. And she kind of hosted the whole event, and I think she did a great job. There was a Q&A afterwards that was...
You're cutting ahead, girl.
I'm getting ahead. I'm sorry.
Pause?
No.
So the Mercedes team in WhatsApp hosted this event, this world premiere, because they produced it. It ended up, partnering with Netflix, so it will be on Netflix
now.
May 5th, so today. But they also did a really cool event, kind of to kick it off. They had a really, cool display. You could create your own driver intro, which I thought was hilarious. And they had some, cool WhatsApp artwork. They had a big display of cars because Kimi used to play with cars. So they kind of lined them up. And we saw race suits and helmets. And they had fun lime green drinks for WhatsApp, which is really cool. And then we got to watch the premiere, which was the world premiere, which was really cool. And then also do a Q&A with Toto, hosted by
Laura Winter.
Bradley was there.
Bradley Lord. So
God bless him.
He's the head of communications. He's the one who does the Sky Sports interviews when Mercedes does it, because Toto doesn't care to do them anymore. And Bradley Lord and James Vowles are like birds of a feather of a sort, or two sides of the same coin, where James can go on long-winded talks about physics and we're just like at the edge of our seats listening to him. And Bradley Lord will talk about the team strategy or whatever the Sky pundits ask him about. And we're just like, can we just go back to Martin Brundle's commentary, please? Which is to no fault of Bradley Lord's own.
I think it's because we miss Toto. I honestly think that it's like, I'm like, oh, it's not Toto, it's Bradley.
It's Bradley Lord. Yeah, but he has a lot of things to say and says them in a lot of words. And so he was there as well, along with Gwen, he is the head of their he's like their young driver scout. Like he's the reason why Kimi Antonelli was on Mercedes' radar. And then, of course, Kimi Antonelli was there.
Yeah.
And
he is as small as he looks.
He is.
And he looks like he's 12, not 18. So...
Yeah, he came in late because he was stuck at the track, and Miami traffic from where the track is to where the event was in South Beach was quite a distance. So he had his own like grand entrance into the Q&A. He had some fun answers to some fun questions, and like, oh my God, he's just great.
Yeah, I would say like the big takeaway from the Q&A is how young they're scouting people in karting.
Yeah.
So Gwen found Kimi. Well, you guys will see this in the documentary. If you watch it, you should.
Which you highly should. Like I said, it's 45 minutes of your life. Watch it, enjoy it, fall in love with this kid.
But yeah, he found him when he was 11, and then they really started talking and signed him to the, development program at 12. So that was like my big takeaway of how young they're actually getting to these drivers. And also like going back to F1 Academy, why we're probably not seeing more women in F1, or why we haven't, because karting at that age is not like a thing on the radar. Like Susie's expanding it and working on that, but I think that's really telling of like women who are now getting into F1 Academy, they're like 20, and that's like almost too late.
Well, so the F1 Academy age range is 16 to, I believe, 22, 23. So, and we're getting in, like they're getting in these really young kids who are just getting into single seater within the last couple of years. Like the grassroots efforts that F1 Academy is focusing on, along with like getting exposure to single seater driving, is getting more gender equity into karting, which is why they have the Champions of the Future Academy and all these things that they're working on to get more little girls into karting as well, which is that is where you get found, and you get found early.
Right. So that's
there.
what
And to your point is that they are they're not getting seen yet, and we're not getting female opportunities in Formula One because we're not finding them yet.
We're seeing older like people in a support series.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
you're fine.
So tired.
No, you're fine. But yeah, so that was a takeaway that I had. I also took away that Bradley Lord actually has personality, and he's
hilarious.
He can crack a joke, man. So can Toto. Toto, I think we all know his humor and his personality from Drive to Survive and the interviews that he does. It's even better in person. Mm-hmm. The accent like is so great. The dry sarcasm just it brings me so much happiness. Yeah. His dad, Kimmy's dad, was also there, which was really cool to see. Yeah, just cool to be in a room with really important people.
I don't know how we got into that room.
You're probably thinking like, why were you guys there? So this is like really exciting, but also soul crushing at the same time. And when you watch, you'll know why. We're actually in the documentary.
Yeah. So like the mind blowing part about, so backing up a little bit, is they reached out to us during the off season, and they actually made a little bit of effort to reach out to us because it was the off season. There was no news. I was not very closely checking the F1 or our F1 podcast account or email account. And so they DM'd us on Instagram, and Emily's like, you need to look at the email.
No, I was like, Catherine, someone just DM'd us asking like if we've seen an email because they're reaching out to like talk to us about something. And she's like, looks fishy, but I'll look into it.
I'm very naturally
I'm like, no, this is exciting.
But and they're like, are you the rights holders of this clip? And this was a clip from the episode that we did when Lewis announced, or after Lewis announced that he was moving to Ferrari, and we were going through the possible candidates for that seat, who would take the seat. And so they're like, are you the rights holders for this? We would love to use this in this documentary that we're putting together with this guy who's done a couple documentary sports things for Netflix. And we're like, yeah.
Well, no, at first Catherine was like, I don't know, I'm going to do some research. And
I did.
She's like, okay, they look reputable. I'll respond. And I'm like, I'm so glad that you're doing that, because I would have been like, oh, fun, Netflix. Yeah, take whatever you want. But yeah, so we went back and forth with them and just kind of talked through, I don't know, helping with
they
recording lines just to help with like
voiceover. They asked
for transition. Yeah.
They sent us they asked us to send the raw clips, which you will have seen,
and they are raw. Let me just tell you. Oh my God, I have never been so embarrassed in my entire life. Like, I'm so excited, but when all of these people that we just talked about are watching this documentary, and I'm in my camo sweatshirt that you guys know I record in all the time, just slurping away on my Stanley Cup. Oh my God, I saw it and I was just absolutely mortified, which is the soul crushing part, because this will be on Netflix and all of my friends want to see this.
But the other point is the clip is us being very emphatically wrong, because we basically said, coming right out of the gate when they were throwing out names and like Kimmy's name was thrown around for the seat, we're like, it's not going to be him. Like, and in the full clip, it's like, he's going to go to Williams first. They're going to do what they did with George.
Right.
And then Toto was like, nah, we're going to screw
this verbatim say there's no way Toto's going to put a brand new rookie in that Mercedes car.
And that's what he did.
And he so lovingly in the Q&A said, against what all the naysayers said, we put a rookie in the car. And I'm like, hello, I am naysayer. And
you slid down in your seat a little
I was like, I am naysayer. But no, it was really cool to see us. It's like a 5-second clip, but it's in the first 7 minutes of the movie, honestly. So
here's the thing that like I didn't expect us to be the only
Sky Sports person.
The only non-professional media outlet that was included in this montage. I thought that they were gonna like throw us in after the
we're sitting on the floor of a hotel room. We are professionals.
Well, yes, we are, but like we don't get paid to do this yet. And the fact that we are in a montage with big names and big commentators that I'm probably gonna have to be nicer about is I'm just really when the producers like realized that we were there and they came up to us and like they recognized us.
That was the cool part.
That was
They're like,
wild.
oh my gosh, Emily and Catherine, one of you lives in Argentina.
We didn't think you were coming. Oh my god. Yeah.
So it was really cool. Yeah, they're like, we're so excited that you're here. We love your clip. We're so glad it made it to the movie. Because like honestly, in all honesty, transparency, I thought we were going to be left on the cutting room floor.
Oh,
and
I agree.
I would be okay with that because of how I look. I'm just mortified.
Getting the opportunity to be invited to provide content for this and to be invited. That was great. Like I was telling the confidentially, you know, telling a couple of people like, it's like I have news that I can't talk about yet. And I was expecting to be like, hey, there's this documentary that we were invited to be in. We weren't in it, but we did go to the premiere. You should watch it anyway. And now I can say, hey, here's this documentary. We're in it. Watch the first 5 minutes and then you can go on with your life, but watch me in a Netflix documentary. It is a documentary. It is on Netflix. Our faces are on Netflix.
Yeah. Also, I would just like to throw this out there for 0.5 seconds. So my cousin who lovingly pays attention to my podcast, when I told him that we were actually in it, he's like, oh my gosh, is my cousin going to look like a hobo on Netflix? And I was like, Tanner, that's so mean. And now I'm like, oh wait, no, I do look like a hobo on Netflix. So thank you for putting that in my mind and capturing that moment. Great. I love you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so watch it. It's great. We're in like the first 10 minutes of the movie. So if you just want to watch for, you know, my adorable face
watch the beginning
and this slurp from the Stanley, please watch it. It's really cool. It's 40 minutes. It's really heartwarming.
I thought it was
too.
Really well
done.
Yeah. And the way that they like, this is a big marketing opportunity for WhatsApp's partnership with Mercedes.
Yeah.
And I think they integrated it really well. And that Mercedes was willing to open up pretty unprecedented access to WhatsApp to an outside organization of like graphs and charts that usually when you're watching behind the scenes video from teams themselves or from Sky and other outlets that are all like fuzzed out and you could see actual, you know,
feedback and data from the
graphics
car,
and data, which is something that you really never get to see. So that it's a great opportunity for their marketing partnership and to really help. You know, Toto had to convince the Mercedes board to be on board with the idea of signing a rookie to replace 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. And I think that this is part of giving Mercedes that exposure, giving Kimi some legitimacy, showing Kimi's capabilities and how high his ceiling is, because he will be a world champion one day at this rate. Pretty probably.
Yeah.
And look at Oscar. And Oscar's well on his way, and Kimi has had a really good start. So I think that it's really this is a really great formative piece of work for his very young professional motorsport career.
Yeah, but all in all, it was really exciting. We can now say that we
are in a Netflix
documentary.
And we're sitting on the floor of our hotel room in Miami, exhausted.
You know what?
I
hope we never change.
I
hope we never change.
I'm pretty much set at this point. So my personality has long been established. And yeah, really quick, just want to thank everyone at WhatsApp, everybody at Modern Arts and Radical Media, the production companies behind this, including Diana, Megan, Kirsten, Jen, Susan, Stephen, Nick, Ian. I'm sure we're missing a couple of people. Everybody we met at the premiere the other night. Thank you for finding us and including us. And then I'm also going to throw out a thank you that I assume from Toto, because I think that Toto probably has at least a little bit of veto power, and that if you really didn't want us included in this because we are a pair of no-name American F1 fans doing a podcast, like I think that if he wanted us cut, he would have done it. And so for better or for worse, he let us be in it.
Yeah, and I also want to issue a personal, very heartfelt apology, Toto. I never should have doubted you.
We never should have doubted you, Toto. But we were working with the information that we had at the time.
We didn't have all your fancy charts, Toto.
We did not have the fancy charts. And also this was when like Max was available and Carlos was available. Like there were at the time names that were available that might have been other options for them. And they actually show in the documentary how that became, why it, and like the conversations, why it became Kimi, which is also really cool to be able to see. You got a lot of that with like Carlos's experience moving to Williams in the season of Drive to Survive.
You get almost the same thing here.
You do. And I think that I was a little bit worried when they announced they were doing this documentary that it was going to be a lot of the little bits of Kimi that we saw on Drive to Survive. But I was really impressed with how they were able to like let the Drive to Survive Kimi segment be one thing and let this be its whole other thing.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, all in all, I'm ready to go home and I'm ready to leave Miami.
The humidity is killing me.
But we are struggling. The sun was not kind.
I am so sunburnt in so many not so fun places. But I'm also a person who I go outside and I get sunburned. Like there's a reason why I am at home, in my home, inside, indoors. Yeah. And why I'm so pale.
But it was a fun experience all in all. Hopefully we have more of these weekends where we get to record together. It definitely is easier when we do this together. Like, not gonna lie.
And I also really appreciate and am really grateful to WhatsApp and Mercedes for inviting us here, because had they not invited us to the premiere, we would be watching this from our respective homes or from your respective hotel rooms and not have had this really cool opportunity and experience.